Okay, let's dive right into this explainer because we're looking at a massive paradigm shift happening right under our noses. For years, we thought of artificial intelligence in retail as, a helpful recommender. It's that little widget suggesting products based on what other people bought. But what we're exploring today is a fundamental evolution. AI is moving from being a helpful recommender to a powerful executor. We're officially entering the era of agentic commerce, meaning AI isn't just helping you shop anymore, it's actually shopping for you.
To really wrap our heads around what this means in practice, just picture giving this simple prompt to the AI assistant on your phone. Plan a Goa trip, flights, hotel, and car for 3 nights, under $60,000. In the old world, well, the world we're in right now, your phone would just spit back a bunch of blue links, right? You'd have to click through them, open a dozen tabs, and piece the puzzle together yourself. But in this new agentic commerce model, instead of just feeding you links, your AI agent actually handles the entire booking process for you.
And this perfectly illustrates how the new AI workflow operates. First, the AI actually understands your specific intent and your constraints. Then it goes out into the digital wild to search and compare prices across all these different providers. Third, it optimizes the itinerary to find the absolute best combination of flights and hotels that actually fit your budget. And finally, and this is the real game changer here, it asks for a quick thumbs up from you and then literally executes the transaction on your behalf.
So let's get into Section 1, the agentic revolution, the shift from recommendations to execution.
There is such a stark contrast between how we've done things and where we're going. In traditional e-commerce, the burden is 100% on us, the customer, right? We search, we compare, we agonize over the decision, and we purchase. But in agentic commerce, you just interact with your AI agent. The agent takes over all that heavy lifting of searching, comparing, and, get this, even negotiating. You just step back in at the very end to say, looks good, and the AI handles the actual transaction. The AI is no longer just a fancy search engine. It's executing the workflow. And that changes the entire economics of digital commerce.
Moving right along to Section 2, the multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. And yes, we have the real data to back this up. If you think this sounds like some distant science fiction, get a load of this number. According to recent data from Alipay's AI Pay, they enabled AI agents to initiate and complete 120 million transactions in just a single week. 120 million! If you break that down, that's roughly 17.1 million transactions a day, or almost 12,000 transactions happening every single minute. AI is already acting as an active participant in digital transactions at a massive scale.
And the financial forecasts for this space? They are literally off the charts. McKinsey estimates that this global agentic commerce opportunity could reach between $3 and $5 trillion by the year 2030. That's trillion, with a T. That represents an absolute seismic shift in how money is going to move through the global economy.
And it's not just one firm saying this. A huge consensus is forming across the industry. Salesforce is projecting $260 billion in AI-influenced sales just for the 2025 holiday season alone. Adobe Analytics is already tracking a 1,200% increase in generative AI traffic to U.S. retail sites, and Morgan Stanley is eyeing hundreds of billions in U.S. agentic spending by 2030. So whether every single projection hits its exact dollar mark or not, the direction we are traveling, straight into the transaction layer, is absolutely undeniable.
I also want to highlight how this is playing out regionally, because India is particularly fascinating here. The country has this incredibly unique mix: highly conversational digital behavior, widespread use of UPI for instant payments, and WhatsApp functioning as a massive commerce channel. Add to that the early AI experiments from giants like Amazon India, Swiggy, and Myntra. What this means is that very soon, Indian consumers might completely stop needing to open 10 different shopping apps. A single AI interface could become the starting point for literally all their daily commerce.
But of course, before we just hand over our wallets, we hit Section 3, the ultimate challenge: control and governance.
This is the trillion-dollar question, isn't it? Who exactly controls the transaction when an AI makes the purchase? I mean, if your AI recommends the wrong product, who takes the blame? Or if it totally misinterprets your prompt and overspends on that Goa trip, how do we safely limit its autonomy? Giving a piece of software the power to spend real money introduces risks that we have never had to manage at this kind of scale before.
The source material tackles this perfectly, with a quote that really hits the nail on the head. Autonomous does not mean uncontrolled. You can't build agentic commerce just by plugging in some smart AI models and hoping for the best. It requires strict, ironclad architecture. We are talking about rock-solid identity verification, very strict permissions, robust data governance, and most importantly, mandatory human oversight. The smarts of the AI, that's just one piece of the puzzle.
Which leads us to Section 4, Building AI-Powered Businesses, and we'll look at the TechHans roadmap.
To navigate all this safely, TechHans AI Consulting proposes a major shift in mindset. Organizations really need to stop asking, hey, how do we add some AI to our website? That is totally the old way of thinking. Instead, businesses need to strategically map out their customer journeys to figure out exactly where AI is allowed to recommend, where it's allowed to decide, and where a human's approval remains absolutely mandatory before a single dime is spent.
To get to that point safely, TechHans emphasizes doing a rigorous readiness assessment across 7 critical dimensions. It's not enough to just have a fancy tech stack. Your data architecture has to be flawless, your operational processes have to adapt, you need tight security controls, serious governance and auditing trails, and, crucially, you have to train your actual human people to work alongside these agents. It's really a measure of an organization's overall AI maturity.
They use this framework to map out a clear 3-stage evolution that any forward-thinking company has to go through. First, you start as an AI-assisted business, so AI is just helping employees and customers with basic stuff. Next, you evolve into an AI-powered business where AI is deeply embedded into your daily workflows to cut out repetitive decisions. And finally, you reach the summit, the agentic business. That's where AI can truly understand intent, make complex choices safely, and execute actions on its own.
And why is it so urgent to figure this out now? Because the very nature of competition is changing forever. Today, brands are fighting tooth and nail for search rankings, website visits, and app downloads. But tomorrow, the battlefield completely shifts to one question. Whose AI agent does the customer trust? Brands are going to stop competing solely for human eyeballs and start competing to be the preferred choice of your AI agent. That fundamentally rewrites the relationship between the customer and the brand.
So I really hope this explainer has shown you why the shift from simple recommendations to autonomous action isn't just a fad, it's inevitable. And getting the governance right is absolutely make or break. That leaves us with one vital question to ponder as we wrap up today. Is your organization just going to adopt some basic AI chatbots to follow a trend? Or will you do the hard work to build an AI-powered business that's truly ready for the agentic era? Because the future, for sure, belongs to those who prepare for the latter. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.